Okay, I just finished sparking out. I'm testing the blade with my finger by running along the ground surface, not the sharp edge. Okay, it feels kind of smooth. Let me use my fingernail, see if it catches any ridges. It doesn't. You'll learn from experience how smooth of a surface you need, but this is definitely done. So now we're going to hone it. For the ice blades, if I'm doing a bunch of them, I'll put away the paper stones so they're not in my way, but this, I think we're going to be switching right back to paper, so I'll leave them wet. This is a beat up old stone. It's all nasty, but I like to use it just to start the honing process here. Set it flat, tilt it up, kind of pick a target over here so you can have the same, like right now I'm aiming like at that V there, so that you can aim at the same spot. I can use two hands, but that seems to grind a little better if you get more pressure. So I'm pushing down and out, down and out, down and out, down and out, and then I just pull back lightly. I find that with softer stones that works great. And then back the other direction. Nice, careful passes. All my hands are on top of the stone here. If something starts to slip, just get your hands off. And for these blades, again, if you follow the procedure, it will get sharp enough. Coming back, this is the third slow pass, I like to say. Now because the smoother side of my stone is so mangled, I'm going to switch to the coarser side and then run to back. You may want to tilt this way because you're trying to make that edge, but keeping it 90 degrees gives you a sharper result in the end. Okay, you can see that whole leading edge there has got a bunch of scuds and yuck. It's got stone and metal. So I use my plastic, cut the burr. You can hear it cut. Kind of tears that metal off. Then, it's only an ice blade, so this may or may not be necessary, but it is a better product if you keep it clean. So I rinse off the grinding sludge from the ground surface. Then I also rinse off the clamp bolts, because the more we keep grinding junk off those threads when we back the nuts off, the longer we extend the life of the nut. I didn't get all of them, but I'll be rinsing again in a second. Then I switch to this stone. Make sure it's rinsed off. Okay, this is a very hard stone, even though it's kind of a medium grit. I really like it, but it's getting dinged up. So I already know what angle I'm looking for. I can use one hand, two hands. I can do circles. I can do figure eights. But I really like out and slowly back. Out, or not slowly, but out hard, gentle back. I think it gives me the best result. And it lets me use the full length of the stone from here to there without endangering my fingers, the way I do it. You can almost just hear it bite as you push. Not anymore, because I already went by once. So I've developed this procedure to save steps, literally. So I go out, back, out. Make sure that corner is nice and sharp. And back. And rinse the stone off. Go in here. Rinse the blade off. Rinse the last few nuts. that's off. Any more rinsing will only help. Make sure the grit is off of the stone. Do it again. It's grabbing a lot less now, which means it's done its job. I can see a nice shiny line, a hone line. Out. I can feel it grab when I hit that new metal going this direction. So now it's working. It's almost a circle that I'm doing. Ready back. Right now the blade's probably good enough. The softness of the steel and the fact that everything here is just has a tiny bit of corrosion in it and that it's going to be setting in water in the near future, it can probably be called done. But I like to give it just one final touch. This is a pretty fine ceramic stone. Very hard. Keeper stone in the way here. This is so hard. I'm just going to do a circle here. And I am doing a circle away from the leading edge as opposed to this way, which is probably fine. But if there's debris, I could be dragging it into that cutting surface, which I don't want to do. Oops. I let the corner of my stone scratch the ground surface. It looks less professional. That's barely noticeable, so I'm going to let it go. If I did it more severely, I would then come back and just leave the grinding wheel at the correct height, grind it out, and you don't even have to re-hone because you've created a different angle here. So, just use your best judgment how many passes you want to go with this one. Go 2 circles, and then a couple alternating front and back, making sure that my stone feels clean and I'm not rubbing dirt into the blade. And also making sure that my last pass is on the front. It seems to always be better that way. Now, follow that procedure every time. Your blade is sharp. I'm going to confirm it tactilely. You never move your hand this way. You push out, feeling for a burr, none. Pull out, feeling for a burr. Try a different spot. No burr. And then pull exactly perpendicular. If it feels like you're wiping, a bar of soap, it's not sharp, but if it kind of has a little dragginess to it, then it's sharp. You try your fingernail. I mean, I'm trying to move my fingernail up and down. That thing is sharp. Just grab the fingernail. So, blade is done. Before I install the handles and get them in the way, I will loosen it. I break it free, use my finger for a half and a bit, turn, boom. Work my way down. The nuts are spinning off really nice because I just cleaned the studs. And you can do whatever you want as far as doing more rinsing or whatnot. I'm going to grab my handles. Again, there's no way to hold the back of those bolts, so you can either press them into the bench to hold them still, and then after you get the threads started, I like to give them a pull, and that holds the bolts still as you thread them down. Sometimes the bolt spins it. It gets a little frustrating. Of course, try to use correct lifting posture. rest it down here. I'm going to give it one more rinse if I feel like it. That does two things for me. It gets just a little more grinding sludge off of the blade to keep my rag clean, and it also cleans the bench for the next blade. If I can aim right. Whatever. So, I'm going to let that drip dry for a second. We're going to spin around and look at the scabbard. So, to get the scabbard ready for an ice blade, all we really want to do is make sure it's in the right place and make sure there's not too much debris on here. You can bang it. Option 1, option 2, take the whisk broom and just get any junk and splinters and whatnot off of this thing. I brush it against my hand so it falls down in the trash can. Boom, ready. There's a lot of water on that blade, so instead of, let's see what I got for towels. This won't work. Beat up old rag, but it's dry. I fold over a few times. Start right there. We're gonna pinch instead of press. Okay, kind of create a little pocket there and come down. All right.